Hi, I'm Don Carr, and this is the Seymour Duncan Vise Grip Compressor. The Vise Grip is a really clean, super versatile compressor. The name Vise Grip kind of makes you think of something really clamping down. Well, it can definitely do that, but much like a Vise Grip, it's also kind of a precision instrument. You can dial it in exactly where you need it, and even with a very few controls, just you got 4 knobs and a switch basically, and an on-off switch, you can still get a lot of depth out of this pedal. So as far as the controls are concerned, there is a volume control and a sustain control. Now the sustain control is the compression ratio, the amount of compression, and the volume control and the sustain control are inextricably tied. I mean, as you turn one up, you've got to turn the other down, to compensate for the amount of compression that's going on. And the other control up here is the attack control. That basically is how fast the compressor actually reacts. So a higher setting lets a little more of your attack come through, so you get a little more bite and a little more pop on it. And the other control over here is the blend control, which is really, really cool. That's one of the things that makes this thing so versatile. What it allows you to do is to literally blend in the compressed signal with your unaffected dry signal. Now the other interesting thing about that is even the dry signal is still attached to this volume control. So the overall level can be louder if you want when you engage the pedal. So that way you can use it as a clean boost. You can turn the compressed signal all the way off, and you've just got a nice fat clean boost. And what I've got dialed in right here, and the way I played it in the intro, is just a little blend of the compressed signal. The little toggle switch at the top here, it says high, F, and mid. F actually stands for full. And what that is, that's tied to the blend control. The compressed signal either gets an emphasis on the high end, an emphasis on the mid-range, or you let the full range sound come through. I've got it set on full right now, but there's some really cool uses for the high setting especially. Like quite a few of the Seymour Duncan pedals, this pedal can run at either 9 or 18 volts. I'm actually running it at 18 volts, which gives you just a little more headroom. It's a little more cleanliness at the top. I kind of like that. Today I'm playing a PRS 513 through a Fender Princeton reverb amp, and I will use a few effects occasionally to just kind of show the compressor use in context. But for right now, we're just going to listen to guitar and amp, and I'm going to hit the handy dandy true bypass switch on the Vise Grip, and we will listen to the unaffected signal. And here it is with the current settings, which is actually what I used in the intro, with the Vise Grip engaged. So you can hear there's a little jump in volume there, which is fine with a compressor because you're compressing the peaks down, so I'm raising the overall level all the way up. That's one of the nice things about a compressor, is that's why it makes you jump out of the mix a little bit better, because you've compressing the peaks and raising up the low stuff. So just pretty much that simple. That's what I'm doing with this. And you can also see with the blend control where I've got it set. So let's listen to it first. Okay, this is with the blend all the way off. Right, and you can turn the volume up and still get a clean boost out of it that way. So that's pretty cool. And here is the blend at halfway. See, I've got not a lot of attack and quite a bit of the sustain control up. So there's, it's actually really doing its job pretty hard. That's why I had the most of the clean signal coming through. So as you can hear, this compressor will get pretty ridiculous, because that's not even with the sustain all the way up. So here I've got a pretty ridiculous setting. Actually, I went ahead and set the sustain at 3 o'clock, and I've got the attack all the way down, and I've got the blend all the way to the compressed side, so you can hear exactly what this thing can do. All right, let's get to something a little more normal here. I'm going to show the high, full, mid switch, actually, and that affects the unaffected side, if that makes sense. That affects the non-compressed side. There we go, that's what I was trying to say. So I'll turn the blend back the other direction, and you can really hear what it's doing. Here it is in full. Here it is in high. And here it is in mid. You can hear that it accentuates different EQ points, so you blend that in with a compressed signal, and depending on how much of either you have, it can affect your overall tone. Like if you want like something more of a, a bright, sparkly tone, especially if you're trying to do it with humbuckers, which is one of the nice things about the 513 is you can actually switch from single coil to humbuckers. So here is, well, let's do this. Let's listen to it bypassed. Here we have. There's just straight humbucker mode. Now we've got this switch in the high position. Got a pretty good amount of sustain. Oh, yeah, I get the blend at 50%. See how it seems brighter in general, it's just kind of opens up the whole thing, so you can switch back and forth from to, and obviously if you really like that effect, you could turn the blend all the way to the other direction, and then just it becomes an EQ pedal as well. I'm going to put the vice grip in context here. I've got a modulation delay going, and I'm just going to do some chord swells. You can see I've got it set to the high setting, so I want it kind of a, a bright, washy kind of thing. Here's a great way to make chords really pop. Got a little bit of chorus on it, got it clean. Again, I got the high switch on, and you can see how the settings are, and it's this kind of usage. And of course the vice grip sounds great with chicken picking too, so I've dialed in a setting for that. Here we go. All right, there you go, man. The Seymour Duncan Vise Grip compressor. Very cool, very clean, very versatile. I really, really like this compressor a lot. In case you hadn't noticed. So for the outro, I'm going to show a use like using it to kind of smooth out a distortion sound. What I'll do is I'll start with it disengaged so you can hear what that sounds like as a reference, and then I'll kick it in. If you have any questions about this or any other Seymour Duncan product, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. Thanks.